know as the management consultants, stakeholder concept is a big concept, an important concept in all areas, in all businesses. Without having a high awareness of stakeholders, of ourselves as management consultants, or also our clients' stakeholders, we cannot we cannot be able to give the key messages, valid messages, right messages to the relevant players in the industry or businesses. So can you please open up the concept of stakeholders? Who are the stakeholders in relation to management consultant by consideration of the mega trends?
Thank you, Jalal, for this introductory note. As consultants, I've learned during the many years of my experience, and I experienced this, that in many cases, we are focused on the mechanics of delivering the assignments, fulfilling the requirements of the project, the technicalities of the project. And we sometimes overlook the importance of stakeholders and how to manage them. So before we talk about the stakeholders, let's go back for the simple definition. What is a stakeholder? A stakeholder basically is an individual or a group of people who has influence on the outcome and the operations of an organization and the decision making. This is simple. So it could be one individual, it could be a group of people, it could be a department, and they have influence on the process, and they shape up positively or negatively in some cases about conducting the assignment successfully. And in order to do this, we will focus. Stakeholders are divided into two main categories. You have the internal stakeholders of an organization, and you have the external stakeholders, like the government is an external stakeholder. You have the customers, you have the shareholders. These are external stakeholders that could influence, by the way, the decisions and the shape and the activities of a company and an organization. In our work, in the management consulting, we concentrate more on the internal customers of an organization. Those could be the employees, could be the department heads, could be the CEO of the company, could be the board of directors that actually we have to deal with. So it's very, very important to realize these things when planning for a consulting assignment in order to execute it successfully. And during the experience, we passed through certain projects that we overlooked the importance of stakeholders, and there was some trouble to the consultants. So basically, my view will be on the, as a consulting service provider, how to look at the internal stakeholders in the organization, taking into consideration also, it's not a black and white aspect, because if you are doing a consulting assignment for an investment company that is influenced by some laws introduced by the central bank or by the financial authorities. So those outside, which I call the external stakeholders, could be an indirect influencer in shaping up how this organization will proceed in its activities and introduce new investment to its operation or its regulation, you know. So we will concentrate in the management consulting on the process of giving to the internal clients. So basically, this will allow us actually to move forward in trying to shape up and map up the projects or the consulting engagements. Also, sometimes we oversee that when you proceed with your experience, ethics, independence, integrity, standards, risk becomes more important than the technicalities of executing the project. Okay, how to design and improve marketing the process, how to design a new organization structure, how to design. These are, I call these the technicalities of it. So we are embedded by putting the best strategic plan, how to put the best balanced scorecards, how to improve the efficiency of the departments. And we oversee the importance of stakeholders. So it's very, very important to realize this, especially for those consultants who are beginners in their career, okay, to realize at an early stage all those aspects, the independence, the conflict of interest, the stakeholder aspects of it. This will help them advance more in their careers and not learn it at a later stage in their career path. Because this is how the senior leadership that will actually evaluate you in your performance and progress in your career will be able to judge you. Moving towards the stakeholders, there are many tools that you could use. Stakeholder, the analysis, the stakeholder matrix. So it's better, first of all, when you go to an organization, is actually to identify those stakeholders in terms of their importance and their influence in the organization. And for each category, so you could call it the stakeholder matrix. Influence against the importance in terms of significant, in terms of low, doesn't exist. They have no influence. They are important, but they have no influence. So once you map this matrix, you are able actually to flow and proceed. And it's good that if you are the project manager or the engagement partner, to disseminate this information to the juniors who are actually working on the assignment, to be able to work more efficiently. In managing the stakeholders, there are, shall I say, different management techniques and approaches. And some of them, like I mentioned in the beginning, through stakeholder management, the identification of the stakeholders is part of the stakeholder management. The continuous communication, and I repeat, continuous communication, not the written communication through submitting progress reports to them. I believe in, assuming there is no COVID, I'm talking about now, in the face-to-face meeting, in the informal sessions, to go and communicate actually to those stakeholders, and most importantly, how to obtain their buy-in with you and their support with you in the process without going into great technicalities of that. Believe it or not, you will be having successful results from my experience in my consulting career. They like it, how to be involved with you. They could sometimes influence you, they could, but you have to be careful that you don't lose your integrity, and keep reminding ourselves of the standards we follow, the ethics we follow. I had a client, great guy, he's in Qatar, and we did some work in another country, and he tried to influence me in terms of, he wants we call it the secret of the other organizations, Sudanese, you will lose my friendship if you don't give it to me. I said, if I give it to you, I lose my integrity, I lose my professionality. So he accepted this. So I managed him well in that process. So it's actually how to manage them is great. Keep them active interaction, sometimes through reporting, but better always on the face-to-face meeting, whether on Zoom or on physical face-to-face process. In certain cases, we are faced to escalate. I call it the escalation stage. Okay, here is a guy, he's the project manager from the client side. He doesn't like your approach or whatever, and anything you do it doesn't match his ego or something. So we should be ready to how to escalate at different stages of the project to the main stakeholders. Remember that I said in the beginning that if you have done your homework correctly, the stakeholder analysis by the different levels in the organization, you could escalate it, to try to get some help from those people. And In ICMCI, I'm mainly in GI, where I am part of the board and the chairperson of the certification, with my colleagues in the professional development also, and the marketing and the membership, is try to use GI to promote actually CMCs, okay, to the stakeholders. What difference does it make? I got my certification from the USA long time ago. So we used to promote CMCs. So it's actually promoting what is the difference of a consultant and a CMC to the stakeholder, utilizing the big power that we have at the Global Institute and at ICMCI. This is the strength that I have and I can use quite easily. And people welcome it a lot, mainly to the stakeholders, and some of them they can able to see the difference. So again, this is will allow us to in the promotion of the CMCs to the stakeholders. How to position ethics and standards as a catalyst of change. I might leave this to my closing remark at the end of the session.
Yeah.
Because I will be telling my view, not as a consultant, but maybe this time as a customer.
Very good, very good. Okay, we will continue with these concepts in the second round, Anis.
Sure.
Thank you very much. As far as I remember, you have highlighted stakeholders as internal and external stakeholders, and you have correctly identified some stakeholders like government, regulatory bodies, the management of the organization, the people, the clients, and all other key stakeholders. And you have also highlighted the importance of stakeholder management with focus on their impact and also in their importance with the organization, influence with the organization's activities. So, and you have also highlighted the technicalities were more critical and we focus on these areas in the past, but in these days with sustainability, regulations, and other mega trends, ethics, integrity, risk, and stakeholder involvement are becoming more critical aspects in our management consultancy profession. Where you position ethics and standards as a catalyst for change. What is your opinion on this?
My opinion is simple. In my years of experience, which I keep referring to it because I'm very proud of it, you can change, you can take the management concepts and translate it to reality and implementation. And it takes a good consultant to do it. For example, when the ISO 9000 emerged many years ago, a lot of critics used to say, hey, it's a documentation system. No, it's not a documentation system. It's a quality management system. Mm-hmm. Okay? So the same thing now we are talking about the ISO 20700. It's a checklist. It's more than a checklist. It's a standard, like Dr. Iles mentioned. It's a standard, you know, that we have to follow. And we give assurances to our clients that by following the standard, and this standard is for management consulting. It's like you have the ISO 31000 for risk management. ISO 20700 is for management consulting. So it's the matter how you take the standard and implement it with the client. So that means there are some ethics concerned over here, you know. Ethical practices treat all who are concerned in the process with dignity and respect. This is the definition, or one of the definitions of ethical practices. So how does ethics be a catalyst for change? It's easy, and for me, I see it easy. You know, yes, I could embed in an organization, okay, through their change management program, integrity, so that they will be referred to as an ethical practice. So this could be perceived as a catalyst of change through their change management program. I could, as a consultant, provide services in this, how to help my clients in introducing the ethics and the integrity and the respect and the values that they share within the organization. That's my intake about it, how to link both together.